Hey, it's Shannon. Welcome back to Major Impact Farm. And today, we're going to do another garden tour. As I've been walking around this week, I've been like, yeah, I got some stuff to show. Like this bed, for instance. This bed here, I have ripped out all of the spinach and the majority of this lettuce. This has been getting fed to the chickens. The next round of lettuce down here is coming on really nicely. It looks really good. Probably about time to start using some of this one bush over here. Tomato plant back here. That one's doing pretty good. And then today I made the decision, which I haven't done yet, but I will probably tomorrow. I'm actually going to end up planting the mint that I've got and a marigold plant that I've got over here. Now let's see if this time I cannot mess up our tour of the sugar snap peas. Right up here are the sugar snap peas. I actually harvested them last night, but there's still a lot of pods coming on. So I should get another good harvest. They're starting to hold a little bit to the heat, but it has been super warm, and next week we're hitting 80 or 90, excuse me. Gonna stay consistently in the 90s for a few days, so that will not be any fun for anything, including these plants. Welcome to the raised bed garden. I'm super excited with some of the progress I made over the last week. Let's take a walk. This bed here, which I think you all remember as just being all raised up in grass, I got that weed whipped finally. And then let's just talk about these squash plants. There's 3 squash plants and a zucchini plant in this bed. 2 out of the 4 are massive. This bed is 2 foot across roughly, and then it is 7.5 long. This straight neck squash plant right here is huge. Next to it, I don't know if you can really see it, there is another much smaller straight neck squash plant. It is, however, producing very well still. But let's go right up into this plant here. Look at the fruit. I've got a twin in here. Right here, I've got a twin. But there is so much fruit down in here. It's crazy. Next door, buried underneath this plant, right there, is a very beautiful, well, not quite yet, it hasn't bloomed yet, but it's a beautiful plant. But it's a zinnia. There's another zinnia. I think maybe there's not a third zinnia in there anymore. This one here, this squash plant, that is a crookneck squash. Again, you guys can see this fruit right here. It's not quite ready, but it is so close. And then down in there, tons more fruit. It's crazy. Zucchini plant on the end here. Not doing the greatest, but I do finally have some, right there is a baby zucchini. So soon we'll have zucchini. Strawberry bed I can finally get to. Tomorrow's plan or project is to get a berry net up on that, because there are tons of fruit getting ready to come on this one in particular, and I'm honestly tired of not getting to eat any of the fruit. Back here, as I was weeding yesterday, this poor little plant, I accidentally pulled about half of that plant out. Oops, it happens, I guess. The tomato bed and pepper bed. It is doing really well. I came through, I had some branches down at the bottom of some of these tomato plants that were looking a little bit sickly. So I came through and I trimmed the bottom branches off of all of them on both sides. We'll get to the other side here in a minute. So they're doing a lot better now. Let's see. Here is my sweet banana pepper plant. And if we get right up in here, let me see. I get up into there and you can start to see some little fruits setting. Right there's one. Excited about those. I don't remember what kind of tomato this is. I do know that it's a cherry, and it has got the funkiest tomatoes on it at this point. They're very cool. They're not a standard round. Here's another one. They're not a normal round tomato, which is really pretty cool. Here is just a red cherry. It's got lots of fruit coming on. Lots and lots. And then there's more blossoms and more blossoms. Here is my kaleidoscope pepper. This is the only pepper plant that actually survived planting this winter. And it's got blossoms and blossoms. So that should be producing pretty good here soon. My yellow pear plant, tomato, it decided to put off all of its sets of flowers on the trellis side of the plant up here at the top, which makes it a little bit hard to actually secure it to the trellis. You can see some fruit back there, and there's actually fruit for this one on the other side as well. My lunchbox peppers, more blossoms up on top, fruit down below. They're starting to get some color to them, so those should be getting ripe here soon. Now let's loop around the corner here. Have I mentioned how much I love this wind chime? It's got great sound. This plant right here on the end is doing something with its life, let me just tell you. It is huge. Let's start there. And that didn't grow straight, which is strange, but it has fruit. It's got some cat-faced fruit. I must have missed that blossom. There's another really big funky one back here. And then this branch right out here is just covered in itty bitty baby tomatoes with more blossoms on that end. It's crazy. I'm going to have so many of these. This is the delicious tomato. I'll let you know if it's delicious. My next one here is the Rutgers. And I've got a good bit of fruit coming on here as well. More fruit up here. I got some apparently blossom end rot, it looks like. So that's not super awesome, but I've still got more flowers also. Next we come to the painted lady. She's almost to the top of the trellis. And again, I'm pretty sure I've got fruit on her. Keep in mind, I did trim up all those bottoms to try to help these plants stay a little bit healthier, keep some airflow, that kind of stuff. I may not have painted lady fruit. No, because that is from the cherry on the other side. I do have some blossoms on that one. So we'll just keep watching and see what she does. And next is my little Stumpy. I say that lovingly. Cherokee purple plant. She got away from me. I'm not really sure how she ended up growing 3 branches, but she did. And on those 3 branches, I've got lots and lots of flowers. Over here I've got, I know there's flowers mixed in here somewhere. There's flowers in there. I've also got fruit. That's what I'm pretty excited about. I know that she's not so super purple, but purple is my color. So we'll see what she does. Now this little guy right down here, I'm not entirely sure if that's actually a tomato plant. But I'm going to leave it since I did have the tomato plant here that I accidentally weed whipped, which is now planted, which is the very first one that I showed you guys. So we're going to see what this does and if it turns out to be a tomato plant or not. Now it's time for the coolest thing. My mom was over yesterday. We were doing some work around here, and I was actually showing her my pepper plants because she thought she had pepper plants growing and she wasn't sure. So she walked over here and looked into this bed, and you guys may not even recognize it. This is my raspberry bed. She looked in, she said, "Hey, you've got plants that are surviving. Let's get in here." So we spent a good long while and we weeded it. It still has a lot of work to do, but I have raspberry plants still in there that are surviving and growing pretty well. So that's super exciting. Big thumbs up to my mom. If you didn't know this, my mom is a YouTuber as well. She does diamond paintings on YouTube. Check her out over at Mindy's Diamond Moments. I think that's what it is. I'll link to it down below. Well, thank you all for stopping by tonight. I hope you enjoyed. However, the mosquitoes are coming out really bad and I'm getting bit up. So I've apparently sweated off all my bug spray today. So it's time for me to go in and have some dinner. This right here and all the little things that I'm doing is how I'm impacting my future. How are you impacting yours?